Welcome back to TMZ Sports. I am your host, Mojo Muhtadi, and today we have an extremely special guest. Stick with me for a bit because it's going to take a while to work through this resume right here. But we have a man who is one half of arguably the greatest tag team in professional wrestling history, a former AEW World Tag Team Champion. They were the tag champs in AAA. Let me read this out here. IWGP, Ring of Honor, three-time champs in WWE, two-time champs in NXT, the first ever Triple Crown Tag Champ, Tag Team of the Year, Match of the Year, Feud of the Year winner, and personally, the recipient of the Mojo Award for the hardest clothesline I've ever received in my entire life. Dax Harwood joins us on the show today. Dax, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you.
And after that, we're all out of time. Let's go. Good to see you guys. Thank you. Nah, I'm
There
good,
it is,
man.
Well, we just
good.
ran through it. The resume is absolutely absurd. Very well world traveled. You've won all of the world's major titles. Hey, let's just jump in and ask, where does this put you in all-time greatest tag teams ever in wrestling history?
Oh my God, dude, what a loaded question. I don't want to, I'd never want to answer that. I mean, Cash and myself, we work hard. We work towards the goal of being the greatest tag team of all time. But my favorite of all time is Dennis Condrey and Bobby Eaton. They're the Midnight Express, and I think they're the greatest tag team of all time. They completely revolutionized the way tag team matches are worked and structured. And they're precise and everything they did was just perfect. But then on top of that, you got Rock and Roll Express, the Hart Foundation, Arn and Tully, all these people that I look up to and who are my mentors now, which blows my mind too. I'd never want to put myself in that class. On my podcast, we're doing a greatest tag team of all time tournament, and I decided to not include us because I didn't want it to be an endeavor where we were just trying to self-please, I guess, and not self-please in the way you're probably thinking, but a way that I'm not putting myself over, just because I look at those guys and man, sometimes I think like, even though Arn will text me or Brett will text me or Dennis Condrey will text me and say, you are the greatest tag team I've ever seen, I would never want to put myself in that class because they are, in my opinion, a class of their own.
Now, we've been buddies for 10 years. I've been to the Performance Center with you every day for years. I don't know if there's anyone that studies the game and watches more tape than you. It's a full-time job. Honestly, I don't know how you do it with the family at home. But here's my question. You talked about it just now. These guys text you here and there. How frequently are you talking with these tag teams or even Bret Hart? We know that's your guy. How frequently do you talk with them and pull information, advice from them?
Dude, all the time, at least once a week from each of these guys. I mean, I text Arn yesterday, I text Brett yesterday, and I text with Dennis Condrey yesterday too. And then I talked to Ricky Morton, and I still talk to Randy Orton. I talk to Edge all the time. Our families hang out, and we're really good buddies. But whenever you and I were in the thick of it and at the Performance Center, I studied so much wrestling, and because I had, I don't even know if I thought about it then, but now that I look back and think on it, I think it was because, and I'm sure you can kind of sympathize with this or empathize with this. I was thinking that if I'm not studying, especially, me, I don't have the greatest body in the world. I'm not the tallest guy in the world. But if I'm not studying, then someone is out there getting better than I am. And I had that mentality for a long time. And dude, and I'm sure you can again attest to this. It was unhealthy for me because I studied so much. And then if I didn't see someone if I didn't see someone studying as much as I did, like I took it as a slap in the face and I would get mad. And then I had to take a step back, especially with my family coming along now. And I had to think, man, no, there's a lot more things way more important than wrestling. And look, I love wrestling as an entity. I love it so much to my own detriment at most times. But when I took a step back and realized my wife and my daughter and the man that I perceive to be God, and a family and friends, they take precedence over wrestling. And I took a step back and realized that, and it helped me to manage anxiety and manage my stress levels. And I think it just made me more of a personable person too.
Yeah, talk about Cash for a second. I mean, obviously, we're talking about a tag team here, and one has to be as good as the other. Really has to be on the same lane, same vision, same mentality, bringing forth that same work ethic. And for someone that has it like you do, that's hard to find. What is it about Cash that made this thing so successful, no matter where you guys have been? Because we'll talk about this in a little bit too. It's kind of easy to be successful in one promotion when you got the rocket and the machine behind you, but to go literally everywhere where you might not be their guy and still find a way to come out on top and win gold, you got to have a great partner with you, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and dude, you know him. Personally, he is an incredible human being, and he and I have known each other before WWE. We knew each other. We had heard about each other in the North Carolina independent scene. There weren't very many great talent you could work with, and so the good talent, few and far between. We knew of each other. We heard about each other, and so we would try to talk to the promoters and have matches together so we could get it on film, so we could send it in and hopefully get a job. He and I never got an opportunity to meet face to face until we had a tryout in WWE. And that was the first time we met. They put us in a match together. We called everything in the ring. And right then a friendship was formed, a bond was formed. I got the opportunity first for WWE. And then he came along about, I don't know, maybe a year later. And we always kept up with each other through text and phone call and said, whenever he gets the opportunity and comes, we should be a tag team. And as soon as he came to his tryout, that was all the coach's first thought was these two need to be together because our work was similar. Obviously, our stature was similar. Our accents are similar. So they thought we'd be a good fit. And yeah, man, he's an incredible human being. He's going to be there at my live event and or my live show in LA on March 30th. And I can't wait till he gets the opportunity to speak about his backstory and his life because it will tell you why he is such an incredible human being.
Well, your live show is definitely going to be one for the books that everyone should put on their calendars, which is going to be made even unbelievably more interesting after this coming week. You guys have a tag title match coming up on AEW television against the Gunns with a very interesting stipulation that you suggested. If you guys don't win the tag titles back, you're done with AEW. Very interesting too, again, because of all the promotions that you guys have wrestled for and won gold everywhere. Why did you make that stipulation a thing? Tell us a little bit about this match. What happens if you win? What happens if you don't? What's next?
Yeah, so intrigue is the whole reason that I mentioned this match because wrestling is built around intrigue and it's built around new and spontaneity. That's what wrestling is built around: emotion and how you feel. You see guys, all these big sweaty guys in trunks, and they're rolling around or they're doing flips and stuff like that, and all that is impressive. But what wrestling is really built around is emotion and how someone can feel and how we can make them feel for us. And it's no secret that my real life, me and Cash's real life, our contract's coming up in mid-April. We left the WWE in the beginning of April of 2020 and immediately got signed up with AEW. So it's not a secret that our 3-year deals are up in April. And a lot of people have been talking about where we're going to go and what we're going to do. Cash and I have been talking about what we're going to do. And there are a lot of things that we have to think about for our future. Like, I'm 38 years old now. My family, my time with my daughter who in WWE, we were always on the go, dude. Never a time to rest for a second. So I missed so much of her life. So that's something I have to put into perspective too when I'm thinking about my future. And so with that and the people understanding where we could end up potentially, all the different places we could end up, that brings a certain unique intrigue to the match. And the match, it's going to be a hard-hitting match, just like all of our other matches. And I have a feeling it's going to be a great match as well. But the intrigue is what's going to make people tune in. So that's kind of why I set the stipulation.
So then we got the match, and then we got your live show March 30th. Are any decisions going to be made on that show? What can we expect out of that one? Because it seems timing wise that this is going to be a massive, massive show with a massive, massive announcement.
Right. So I think it is going to be a monumental show. Of course, I think that it's my live show, so why not? But I do have a ton of my buds coming along, like Powerhouse Hobbs, who you would love, dude. I wish you guys had the opportunity to meet. You guys would get along so great. You and Wardlow would get along great as well. Spears, Spears, he's going to be there too. And I think the stories and the camaraderie we're going to share, and the camaraderie we're going to share with the fans too, is going to be the best part about the live show. As far as our future, I don't know. There could be something leaked out there. Who knows?
Wink, wink.
Yeah. So it's something I want to do because I want to have fun. And, for so long in WWE, it was nose to the grindstone, and everything was so serious. And of course, wrestling is still very, very serious and sentimental to me. But these last few years that I have left, in this sport, I want to have fun. Everything I do, money, of course, but then also my happiness has to be in consideration, and that's why we're doing this live event.
Where can we watch it?
Fight TV. If you go to Fight TV, if you can't come live to the Biltmore Hotel in LA on March 30th, then Fight TV is going to be airing it live. I could be wrong. I think it's $7.99, but I could be wrong. I'm not sure about that, but that's where you can watch it. But if you're in LA, because it's going to be around WrestleCon time, around WrestleMania time, it's the biggest weekend in wrestling history. So if you're going to be there, I would implore you to come hang out, because afterwards as well, if you got the VIP passes, we're going to do it's going to be called a meet and greet, but I told the people who were putting on this event that I didn't want to do a standard inline meet and greet, me behind a table shaking hands and shit like that. What I wanted to do was I wanted it to be like a bar atmosphere. I wanted to be a friends thing. Like, we're all talking. The camaraderie is going to be there. If you drink, we're all going to have enough tequila for everybody. So if you get a chance to come say, hey, I would love to see everybody. Our fans are top of the line, dude. Me and Cash, I can't say enough about them. I love them so much.